I'm a former management consultant and currently I work as a product manager within financial services in London. And I know that a lot of management consultants or even non-management consultants consider product management as quite an aspirational job, which is why I wanted to do this episode slightly different from my usual videos on finance, but hopefully you'll find this enjoyable. As a product manager, and as a normal person, the first thing that I do in the morning is wake up, either with an alarm or with the child tugging at my hair or my hand or both. The next thing I do is get ready, get brushed, get showered, and pack lunch for the kids sometimes, pack lunch for myself sometimes, but sometimes I'll leave it to my husband and he'll do it. And I then get ready for the dreaded London commute. When I go into the office, I usually try to walk on London Bridge because it gets my steps for the day in, and also I get to have this iconic view of Tower Bridge, which is one of the privileges of being in London. You get to see this iconic monument, bridge, whatever you call it, every single day. And it makes me forget about the annoyance of getting onto a tube or the train strikes. So usually after getting off from London Bridge, I will go into a Tesco, get my breakfast and sometimes my lunch. So the Tesco meal deal. That's what I'm here for, mostly because most of the days I don't have enough time to go out and grab lunch. So I grab a sandwich on my way in. If I have packed lunch, great. Usually I don't. So I do two birds in one stone. I get a drink, I get a breakfast, and I get my lunch. Once I get in, I will settle in, grab a coffee, and then the day starts usually pretty full on with meetings. As a product manager, you are sort of the CEO of your own product, which is why you have to have the finger on the pulse of the customer. You also need to know your stakeholders, who's sponsoring you, who you might need to convince, and what your team is struggling with, enjoying, wants to do more of, less of, etc. So there are a ton of meetings throughout the day. This day that I am talking about, I had my first meeting with the head of change, with whom I was discussing our ways of working and how we could help each other, how we could work more collaboratively, and how we can avoid last-minute surprises, shocks towards the end of a project. So we established some good ways of working and we wanted to discuss more with the rest of the team. Following that, I met my user experience designer. We've been working on a new project, so she has been having a lot of conversations with users. We have been journey mapping together for a while. We also have been getting onto some customer calls. So we had a session to pull out all of the things that we wanted to see in the product, the new features, and the experience that we wanted the customer to have. The next meeting I had in my diary was to get myself updated on a new piece of work that I have commissioned for a completely new product. So I am the product portfolio manager, so I don't just work on one product. I have a portfolio of products. So this was for a different product. I was working with the team and I got an update on what was working, what was not working, whether it was worth pursuing the R&D in a particular approach or if we wanted to change approach. In this instance, my teammate had a brilliant approach. However, I did tell them that I will test it out later on in the week. And after I tested it out, we ended up putting in another meeting in the diary and then ended up actually changing our approach. So that was the start of a really good conversation. The next meeting I had in the diary was update all my stakeholders on where I am with my portfolio of products. What are the new things that I'm thinking about developing? What are the things that I don't want to invest a lot of time in? And what are the things that I want to invest enough time in, but not a lot? So a lot of good thinking around what I should continue doing, where I should continue focusing, and what I should really be putting in the back burner for some time. The next meeting I had in my diary was a one-to-one with my manager. I typically would have one-to-ones with either my manager or my team or my super boss or someone else almost every single day. So a one-to-one with my manager where I update them on what's working, what I have been seeing in the week or the last week, and where are the areas that we could think about making some changes in. The next meeting I had in the diary was our managers meeting. So I manage the portfolio of products, but I work with a lot of other technology and data managers. So we had our managers catch up and we decided where we needed to align, what they are struggling with, what I'm struggling with. If there's something that someone's done really well, how do we recognize them for that work, etc. So it's usual management-y type of work. That was my last meeting for the day. A lot of meetings, like I said. And after that, what did I do? I sent out more meeting invites because a lot of the work that you do as a product manager is really trying to navigate the corporate system. So you would have a chat with someone, you are the conduit between a lot of teams, so you always end up talking to a lot of people and you have this bird's eye view of what is working where and what are the dots that need to be joined up. Which is why I end up spending an abnormally high amount of time in meetings. But of course, it's not like this every day. Some days I will just block off my diary to do some focus work, get a couple of slides done or make a project plan or, update my portfolio of products and see what is it that we want to work on, update my roadmap accordingly and so on. So sometimes I'll have vendor calls and I will do some market research and things like that. So yeah, it varies every day. But on that particular day, I sent out more meeting invites and then I left early because there was train strikes going on and I also had family commitments in the evening. So I jumped onto a train, listened to some music and got some slide decks out, which is something that I hadn't had time for, but sometimes I will use my commute time as work time as long as I know that no one's looking at my laptop and it's quite safe and secure. So when I reached home, I went directly to the swimming pool and I picked up the kid from there and came back. We cooked, made sure that the kid was fed and put to bed, and then I started my meditation. So every single day I have an evening meditation routine. So I meditate for about half an hour every day. I did that, and then after dinner I watch a bit of Netflix or YouTube with my husband. My genre is that business finance type thing. So I've been really enjoying Shark Tank India and been really impressed by all of the new entrepreneurs coming out of the country. After which I will try and work a bit more, typically on my Abundance Psyche projects. So whether that be writing an email, writing a blog post, revising and editing a video, or planning for a launch. We are planning a job search hacks workshop on the 2nd of March. So if that's something that you are interested in, come and join us. I'll put a link in the description below. So yeah, I typically will try and get all of that work done, and depending on whether I have to go into office the next day or not, I keep up till about midnight every night. But if I don't have to go into office, I will typically stay up till even 1:30 in the morning. I am a complete night owl. I need my morning sleep, so I am quite cranky when I don't get my morning sleep. So that is how I spend a day in real life as a working parent and as a product manager living in London as a former consultant. And as you probably could see, that my diary is extremely meeting heavy. So as an introverted person, by the end of the day, I really become absolutely unsocial. I don't want to talk to anyone anymore, and I just want to do my own thing, which is how it is. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love product management, and I work as a data product manager, which means I get to see all of the new cool stuff in AI and data science. There's never a boring day in the product world in financial services because all the problems are so unique. And for me, finance has been my love since I was 18 years old. As a product manager, especially as an AI product manager, unless you understand your business, unless you understand your customer, unless you understand how a specific process is being done in the organization, you will struggle to deliver a good product. I want to develop products that customers love, and if customers don't love my products, I have failed as a product manager. So I love being a product manager because it gives me the ownership and also extreme responsibility for defining my product path, or my roadmap, and so on. So yeah, was that interesting? This was a bit of a different episode. If you enjoyed it, I can do more of these deep dives into careers because I have changed my career a number of times and I have the insider scoop on a lot of different career paths. So I could easily do something like this for, say, for example, from my management consultant days. Would that be interesting? I don't know. Leave me a comment below if you find this interesting. I'll do more of that. And if you have enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to let me know that this helps and let YouTube know that this helps, because your subscription really helps the channel out a lot. And if you have enjoyed this, you might enjoy something like this or this that I will leave up here. And I'll see you the next time. Bye.